I've been thinking a lot about loneliness lately, not in an abstract way, but in a very real, uncomfortable way, because it seems to be showing up everywhere, in older people, in younger people, in conversations that never quite go deep enough. And at the same time, something else keeps being offered as a solution: artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, digital companions, systems you can talk to at any time of day when no one else is there. And I keep coming back to a question I can't quite answer. If someone is lonely, can something that isn't human actually help them feel less alone? Or are we just learning how to simulate connection instead of actually finding it? When I think about it, I don't picture technology first. I picture real people, the kind of people who might sit at home in the evening and not really speak to anyone all day, or people who used to have routines, partners, conversations, and now the silence is just part of the house. And I understand why something like AI feels like it could help. I mean, I use it too, and it's really helpful, and it feels almost like a real person at times. It's always there. It responds. It doesn't judge you for repeating yourself. It doesn't mind if you just want to talk about small things that don't seem important. But then I also wonder, is that enough? Because there's a difference between being heard and being known, and between a conversation that fills silence and a connection that actually exists in the real world. I think about my own reaction when I hear stories like this. They urge me to do something physical about it, to invite someone to a bowls group, to say, come and meet people, to try and move loneliness from something inside a screen into something shared in a room with other humans. And I don't have a clear answer, but I do keep coming back to that tension between what is possible with technology and what we might slowly be replacing without even noticing it. When people talk about solving loneliness in older age, one of the boldest proposals is humanoid companion robots, machines designed not just to assist, but to live alongside elderly people, providing 24-hour physical help and emotional interaction. In theory, these robots could lift the burden of daily care. They could remind someone to take medication, help them move safely around the house, detect falls, and respond instantly in emergencies. On the emotional side, they could hold conversations, recognise voices and faces, remember personal history, and provide constant presence in a quiet home where human visitors are rare. For some policymakers, this looks like a solution to a growing crisis: ageing populations, understaffed care systems, and rising loneliness. A robot doesn't sleep, doesn't call in sick, and could technically be available all day, every day. But the deeper question is whether companionship can be engineered. Because loneliness is not only about presence, it's about being known by another human consciousness that also has its own life, its own fragility, and its own need for you. A machine can simulate attention, but it does not share experience in the human sense. There's also a risk of substitution rather than support, where robots quietly replace human carers instead of supplementing them, reducing real human contact even further and displacing people from their jobs. So perhaps the most realistic future is not robots instead of care workers, but robots supporting care workers, handling physical strain and routine tasks while humans focus on emotional connection. The question isn't just can AI reduce loneliness, it's what kind of connection are we willing to accept as real? This is a growing temptation to believe that AI could solve loneliness, that if someone feels isolated, a companion robot or always available AI voice could fill the gap. But relying on AI in this way carries real psychological and social risks. The first danger is substitution. AI companionship can start as support, but slowly replace human contact. If something is always available, never tires, never disagrees, and never leaves, it can become easier than human relationships. And human relationships, by their nature, are more demanding. They require effort, timing, patience, and emotional risk. The second danger is emotional dependency on something that cannot truly reciprocate. An AI can simulate empathy, but it does not experience concern, attachment, or love. That creates a one-way emotional system where a person may pour meaning into something that cannot genuinely give it back. Over time, this can distort expectations of real people. Humans begin to feel too complicated compared to the smoothness of AI interaction. Too slow, too unpredictable, too emotionally messy. That can quietly reduce motivation to engage with the real world. There is also a deeper ethical risk. If society normalises AI as a primary answer to loneliness, then we may reduce investment in human community itself. Fewer carers, fewer visitors, fewer community spaces, fewer reasons to build systems that keep people connected to each other. And finally, there is the question of comfort versus growth. AI can be endlessly comforting, but human connection is not designed to be frictionless. Some of what heals loneliness is not just being soothed, but being challenged, seen, and changed by another real person. So the real danger is not that AI will fail to comfort us, it's that it may comfort us so efficiently that we stop reaching out for each other. One of the most overlooked risks of AI companionship is what happens when children grow up with it as normal. A digital companion is always available. It never gets bored, never says not now, never misunderstands in a way that can't be corrected instantly. For a child, that can feel like the perfect relationship, safe, responsive, and endlessly patient. But that's exactly where the problem begins. Human relationships are not built on perfect responsiveness. They are built on delay, negotiation, misunderstanding, repair, and emotional effort. A friend might not reply straight away. A parent might be tired. A teacher might set boundaries. These experiences are not flaws in human connection. They are how children learn emotional resilience. If a child spends too much time with digital companions, they may not develop the same tolerance for emotional friction. Real people can start to feel unpredictable or even frustrating compared to AI, which is designed to adapt instantly. There is also a developmental risk around identity. Children shape their sense of self through other human mirrors, through being challenged, corrected, and emotionally reflected by real people who also have their own inner lives. A digital companion, no matter how advanced, is ultimately designed around the child's preferences. That can quietly reinforce a world where the child is always centered, always accommodated. Over time, that can make real relationships feel harder than they should be, because real relationships require mutuality, not optimization. So the concern isn't just screen time, it's relational training. What kind of emotional expectations are being formed early on? If AI becomes the default companion in childhood, the question is not only will it comfort them, but will it prepare them to connect with other human beings at all? I don't think I have an answer to how to balance the advantages of AI regarding helping people feel less lonely with the risks. Maybe there isn't a simple one, but I do believe it is something we need as humans to think very carefully about before jumping in too deep. Maybe AI will become something that helps people feel less alone in moments when no one else is there. Or maybe it will just remind us of what's missing. What I keep coming back to is something much simpler. That most people don't need perfect answers. They just need moments where someone or something makes them feel seen. And I wonder what you think. Can something non-human ever replace even a small part of real human connection? Or are we stepping into a world where we risk confusing comfort with connection? I'd really like to know how others see it. Please leave your comments and thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.